So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start to fill in my different areas with color. And this has to be done after I make sure that there are no gaps in between lines, which we just did. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to come over here to my paint bucket icon, and I'm going to make sure that it's on Pixel Fill. I'll explain this a little bit more later. What I want to do right now is I want to find a color for my hair. And I clicked on the fill color there, and I can pick a color from the grid here, or I can pick a color from this square right below. And I'm going to show you how to do that. I selected this red, and then I can pick a color that maybe is a little bit darker than that red for my brown hair. And there you go. Now I currently have the tolerance at 40. You can change the tolerance by using the cursor to move this little circle around. And I would say you want to have your tolerance at 40%. Let me show you what happens here if you try to change, or if you have a different tolerance. So this is 40% here. And I'm going to change it to, let's see, 6%. I'm going to fill this in. Let's see what happens. Okay, so you can see my hair area here is now brown. And I'm going to zoom in so you can see the gap between the brown and the blue line. You can kind of see it's a little jagged. There's a little bit of white in between the blue and the brown, and I want that to kind of go away. I don't want there to be much of a gap between the blue line and the brown. So that has to do with tolerance. We're going to now change the tolerance. I'll do redo here. I'm going to change the tolerance to 40 and 41, and I'm going to fill it in again. Okay, so it filled it in, but it also moved it, so I need to now move my image over a bit. So I'll just give me a minute here to move it up and down, and I just need to move it over to the side. So I'll zoom out, and then I'm going to need to zoom back in once I have it here in the center of my screen. So let's zoom in here, and let's look at the gap between the blue line and the brown. It's a little less than it was before. There's still a little bit of a kind of jagged white that's peeking through in between the blue and the brown, but that's pretty good. We're not going to notice it so much. So I think we're good to go. Keep it at tolerance 40. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start to fill in some other areas, such as the mask area. For this, I'm going to pick this purple here. Okay. Make sure that I have my paint bucket icon at Pixel Fill, not at Vector Fill. I'll show you the difference between the two. And I just filled in my mask area with the purple that I picked. So that looks pretty good. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to re-navigate a little bit. Zoom in. Zoom out. You need to change its orientation. And I'm going to need to zoom back in. Okay, and looks like what I could do is I could show you what the difference between, I just changed it to vector fill, and I'm going to try to fill in my skin tone and show you what happens if you have vector filled selected. And you can see I didn't just get my forehead area, I got also my background, and I don't want that. So I just redid it, and I'm going to go back to Pixel Fill. So you can see Pixel Fill right here. And now I'm going to find a skin tone. and I'm going to fill it in. There we go. Just my forehead. That's just what I wanted. And let's see, I'll come over here to my ear and I'll fill this area in. And then for these other areas of my ear, I want to make them a little bit darker. So I'm going to come over here to my square. I'm going to see if I can find another color. It's a little bit darker. Whoops, I had my ear selected. I'm going to go back to my original color. I'm going to unselect that part and go back to my color selection. Pick a little bit of a darker color and let's fill those areas in. That's good. So it's not quite as dark as my hair, but it kind of gives you a sense that, you know, it's a little bit darker in those areas, like there's a shadow in there. Now I'd like to do my eyebrows, and I probably should have done that when I was doing my hair, because I want to keep my eyebrows and hair the same color. So I'm going to come over here and pick my paint bucket tool again, go to fill, and let me see if I can find that brown color. This might be right here. Okay, got it at pixel fill. Go ahead and select, and there we go. I just filled in my eyebrows, and now I'm going to navigate so you can see what I've done so far, and I'll continue doing this. I will continue with my other ear and my eyes and my neck and my shirt till I fill in this whole area here that I'm working on.